Hi everybody, this is Aisha from San Mateo Public Library, and today I'm going to show you a really neat craft that you can do at home. And it's a greeting card, but the special thing about this card is that it's a pop-up card. So it might look a little challenging to do, but it's very easy. Once you do one, then you'll get the hang of it, and then you'll want to do more of them, and your kids will want to make new cards for different people that they want to send them to. So you can do this, you can use any theme you like. Usually at the library, I usually do Halloween with these pop-up cards. Usually there's a little ghost that pops up in it and it looks really cool. So here's one of my samples that I did. It's a Happy Spring card, and I decorated the front and the back. And then here's another Happy Spring card that I did, and I've decorated the back with a little ladybug, and then the inside, it opens this way instead of the way that the other card does, just to show you a different way that you can have your card pop up. And I have little baby chicks inside. I think that's so cool. So you can choose anything you want to put inside your card to pop up. So if you have stickers or something like that, or something that you want to draw to put there, you can do anything, but just keep in mind that whatever size card you have and however long that you cut your pop-up legs, that whatever you want to stick here is not too big and it's not too small. So if it's too small, then you'll see more of this part than you will of what you want the person to see when they read the card. And if your items are too big, then they might fold over the top or the bottom. Like you'll see my little chick's legs are my little chicks are kind of sitting there. That's okay with me for this card. But if you don't want that to happen, then kind of make sure that the objects that you want to put in here to pop up are about the size of this little space here for your pop-up leg. All right. And so I'll show you the hardest part of this process, which is really not that hard. And then the rest you can do on your own. I'll leave it up to you to decorate however you like. So what you need for this craft is, of course, paper. You can use any kind of paper that you like. I use construction paper, but you can use printer paper, colored paper, pattern paper. If you have scraps of wrapping paper around, you can use that for decoration. Any kind of paper you like. You also need scissors to do the cuts, and you'll need glue or tape. If you use tape, if it's not double stick tape, then you'll want to make sure that when you wrap the tape around, if you don't want the tape to show, then make sure that you wrap it tightly so that there's no gap when you stick your decorations on. So now I'm going to make a small card with half sheets of paper. But you can also use a bigger paper or full sheets of paper, especially if you have a younger child who's still working on their fine motor skills and their scissor skills. You can use a bigger sheet of paper, and that way they can make their decorations for their card bigger as well. But for today, I'm going to use half sheets. So I have red and I have white. And so I have to choose. I've already folded these, but what you're going to do is fold them in half after you put them together, and you want to decide which color you want on the inside. So I think I want the red to be on the inside, so I'll fold it again, so I'll show you how it goes. So my red's on the inside, my white's on the outside, and just fold them in half. I have my fold there already. So now you're ready to cut your inside color for your pop-out legs. So I'll take my outside color off. I'll put it to the side here. And make sure, if you're left-handed or right-handed, turn it whichever way you need to do for your, so you can cut into the fold. And you need to cut just a few inches of space between each cut. So it doesn't have to be exact. I kind of use my finger as a guide, and you want to cut into the paper, not to the halfway point. That's too far. But just cut maybe a quarter of the way into the paper, and that way you'll get a nice size leg when you push it out the other side. So I'll show you. Make my first cut. So just like maybe an inch or a little bit over an inch. So there's my first cut. And then I want it to be about the width of my finger. So I kind of eyeball that. You can use a ruler if you want to, but that's not really necessary. You can kind of use put a mark there as well if you want, if you need to have a guideline. But here's my first two cuts. So you see it should flap back and forth like this. All right, and then I want my second leg or my second two cuts to be a little bit further so that they're not, so that there's a kind of a bigger space between them. So I'll cut just a little bit and then I'll do the second cut. All right, so then here's my second cut. It flaps back and forth like this. And what you want to do now is you open the whole sheet of paper and you should be able to see through, you see your cuts. And so you're going to take the little rectangles that you have now and push them back towards you and push the other one, just the little ones, leave the big one in the middle. And then I'll flip it over so you can see it better. So you should be able to put your finger through. And you take the fold, you can still see the fold mark, fold it up towards you. And I'll take the other little one, see the fold mark, fold it up towards me. Now I need to lay it down on the table. But now that I have my folds going the opposite direction of the first fold, now I want to close the card like I did at first. So it's gonna look weird, but this is the way it works. So when you fold it down, if you fold it down the right way, it should look like an E, or an upside down E, or a backwards E, or whatever, depending on how you turn it. So here we go. Here's my E, or if it's backwards or upside down. So now, if you have your E, when you open the card up, and I'll open it towards you, it should look like this. So there's my pop-up legs. And now you see how I could either, they're about the same size. If they're not perfect, that's fine. Now I can put my inside color, I can add it back to my outside color. So I need to glue this together or tape it. Keep in mind too that when you're gluing, you don't want to put too much glue towards the middle of your inside piece, or your legs might not pop out when you open the card up again. So I'm just gonna put, I have this nifty glue that goes on purple, so you can see how I'm just gonna put glue around the edges of the outside paper. And then maybe a little bit here towards the middle, like this. And then I'll carefully, move that out of the way, carefully match up your center fold and then stick one side down. And then I'll stick the other side together. I'll just fold it that way. And so now, here's the base of my card. Here's the inside of the pop-up. Here's the outside. Let me fold that down a little bit more. Okay, so even if you crease it again, it should still pop up like this. So for this kind of sample card, since I made two already, I made these, if I can pick them up, I made little smiley faces for my pop-up. And so these little smiley faces are kind of small, but you'll see what I was demonstrating before, what I was talking about before. I'll put the glue on the pop-up leg, since it's a bigger area. What I was talking about about the size of your objects that you want to put on the pop-up. So here's my glue. I'm going to put my teeny tiny little smiley face there. And so, you know, somebody might like this. But you'll see. All right, now they're stuck there. There's my pop-ups with my smiley faces. My smiley faces for this are pretty small. So I'm okay with that for this because they kind of stand out from the red background. That's what you want. But if you want a bigger pop-up, you can make it a little bigger objects there to put there. But it depends on whatever you want. And you can kind of see the white in the background, which is kind of cool. So when I close this, when I close the card up and I open it up, and it pops up like that. And then later on, I can either wait for the glue to dry a little bit before I decorate the front and the back and put some a message inside for whoever I want this to go to and for whatever I want it to say. So here's my smiley face sample. Here's a Happy Spring baby chick example. And here's my flower Happy Spring card. So that's a pop-up greeting card. It's really easy to do and they're fun to make. Thanks for watching the video and see you at the library soon. Bye.